everyone, and welcome back. It's time to head up to the tent for deer camp. Today is Thursday morning. Opener is Saturday morning. Going up today. My dad, he is going to be coming up to the folks' cabin today. Zachary is going to be coming up tomorrow. Sarah will not be there for this opening weekend. She might stop by on Sunday, and I'll explain that later, but she might come up third weekend. I'm planning on staying, depending on the weather, because it looks like it's going to be mild. Highs, I think, upper 40s, mid to upper 40s, close to 50. Lows in the upper 20s or low 30s. So the weather isn't going to be bad, but it looks like some rain maybe Sunday and Monday and Tuesday or something around there. So I'll watch that, but for right now I'm planning on leaving Tuesday morning early. So yeah, today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's going to be a few days at the tent. I have 2 stops to make on my way up. I'm going to stop at the artesian well and get water, and then I have to stop and get fuel. I already got all my groceries and everything and coolers in the back, so I don't have to do any grocery shopping. Well, I filled up 2 of the blue, I think they're 6-gallon ones. And then I filled up the 5-gallon one that we have the dispenser for in the tent. That was some ice cold water. Well, I went in and got a bottle of water, and when I come out, there's water leaking out the back of my truck. And one of those 5-gallon blue ones must leak. I buy new ones, seems like every year, but they stay up at the tent with water in them and they'll freeze, and eventually they'll crack, and I never know which one is which. Oh well, I really don't need that. I've got the one, and that's all I'm really gonna need. Very hazy today, all over Lake Superior and all the way up the hill, so I don't think that's fog. Wonder if that's Canada wildfires or what it is. Looks like I'm gonna have to stop and get fuel again. I didn't check it, I just cleaned my windshield and let it run, and it clicked off, and then I went inside and I have between half and 3/4 of a tank only. I'm just going to walk down there about 100 yards to the edge of that swamp just to see if it looks like any deer have been there. I sat here last year, but I didn't see anything at all. Yeah, it does look like a deer track, but who knows? That's definitely a deer track, but it's an old one. Grouse right in the road. Wow, they brought some dirt in on this beginning part of the road. It was so bad before. Oh, there was a grouse right there. I think that's one on the side of the road up there on the left. It eluded me. Actually, I missed. But it was starting to get fidgety. I think it was a little bit too far away. It's chilly in here. I need to get a fire going. I see I forgot to keep the fridge open last time. Now I got mold on the bottom shelf. Gonna have to wash that. Well, now that I have the stove going, it's up to 48.2 degrees in here. I think I'll start hauling some stuff in. I think my clock died. I've had that thing forever. So maybe it wasn't the battery. I want to see if I can find another one. I like that clock. I mean, I think it's been up here probably since 2007. It says within 5 minutes it should pick up atomic time. I've seen it do it before, and it just spins around and around and around and around until it gets to where it needs to be, but otherwise I'll order a new one. A white one is $21.99. To get another black one just like that, it is like $35.99 or something. So, and that one says Lacrosse Technology radio controlled clock, and the new ones say Lacrosse Technology atomic clock. So regardless, it's not going to be the same, but it'll be close. I think I'll charge that up for a little bit. Clock hasn't moved yet. I don't think it's going to. I brought up a loaf of bread and some hamburger buns, and they didn't get completely squished on the ride up. Brought up some more Windex because I'm almost out. Trail mix. Oh, I brought up some Buffalo Wild Wings medium sauce because I brought up chicken wings, and if I decide to cook those, that might be kind of good. I always get mild or medium when I go there, or both, and then I'll get Caribbean jerk, and then one other kind. The last couple times I got, it's a new one, I can't remember, but anyway. Brought up a few more veggies, even though I've got plenty up here, but after deer hunting I'll have to pull all that stuff back home so it doesn't freeze and explode. Cookies and some granola chocolate fudge dip chocolate chip bars. Macaroni and cheese, some more grape juice. Paper plates, garbage bags, plastic cups. And I do have stuff from duck hunting, and I brought that up here also. which was, I'm lucky I remembered this. I've been trying to keep it in a place where I wouldn't forget clear knives, which I didn't need at all. But when I was up at duck camp, I stopped and I looked at, I wanted plastic forks, the heavy duty ones, looked right at them, and there was a lady there talking to me, so I talked to her for a little bit, and I ended up grabbing knives. So, but I got the rest of the paper plates from there, and the rest of the plastic cups. I got a lot of plastic cups. Oh man, I don't even have room for all these. Oh well. Every time I come up here now, it's weird to have plastic cups because we don't, Melissa had us not use them anymore at home because it's just a waste, you know, filling up the landfills. But I don't like doing dishes, so up here they're perfect. There we go, we're set up. Forks there. I got knives. I'm going to put a few more of these in there, otherwise I'm never going to use them. There's spoons. I guess that'll fit in there. Forks and spoons assorted properly. I brought up 2 boxes of the Steakhouse seasoned burgers. It's already almost 20 after 12. I'm hungry. I brought up pork steaks. I brought up in the other one there's a thing of spare ribs, hot dogs. I'm going to cook these up tonight, these pork barbecue. They're already seasoned. I found them in the quick sell, whatever it's called. So I don't know if oh, and then Melissa made homemade sourdough crust pizza. She did the crust, 2 of them, and then last night, and then put all the toppings on, so we just have to bake these, kind of like a take and bake, so I gotta get these in the freezer. Her pizzas are so good too. We have them like every 2 weeks at home and the weekends. And then I brought up 2 half gallons of milk that we just milked out of the cow 2 days ago. And I think of homemade butter. Oh, and then I brought up a thing of chicken wings. I turned this fridge on. I think the only time I turn it on is for deer hunting, and I just turn it up all the way and it'll freeze everything in here. So this is like a, kind of like a freezer. I guess I'll put that up there where it's super cold. These are already frozen, and so are the chicken wings.
That's right. Name's Jim Hardy. Think it's your Putnam Smith. You know, you weren't at your table last night. It makes you the best.
Clean it up here, huh?
I haven't started from last stove. I drove up on that dirt road.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
And it's pretty there's shrines there. It's called Stone Brewer. Aren't that bad at all. And they've hauled in a lot of gravel, and they dug the a lot of ditches off with some big thing.
Huh.
And there's roads in there. Only one one's back in there.
Oh, I see. Sure.
And but then from where you turn off here, if you're down 14.3 miles on the right side, there's a little road you can pull in, but then right next to it, it looks like it's been burnt off. But there's still, and then it looks like maybe behind it, maybe the swamps.
Is it?
Stuff. But for some reason, you got the road. I met 3 cars. Yeah, so I just pulled over really easy because I didn't want to.
Oh, yeah. Well, my dad was just over here for over an hour. And now he went back to his place to get the stove going and everything. And I think I'm going to drive down by my far stand and just look in a little ways and see if there's any tracks or anything. Make the loop and see if I see any grouse. Got some shells. Well, this trail coming in, and without snow, as you can't really tell, but it does look like there's been deer walking here. When you get around my stand, I mean, like all of this is definitely. That one I might be able to see. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to be looking to my right, which is where I usually look anyway, but without snow it's so hard to tell. If I would just see some deer droppings somewhere, you know? I mean, I can see lots of stuff in here that looks like deer have been walking through, but it could also be moose. Zach had a trail camera up, and he got video and pictures of a lot of moose in the area, but no deer. Tomorrow I'm going to drive down there, like back where my dad and I went, and back where Zachary had that camera. And there was like a little hill to the right hand side where they were clearing. And I want to look and see, because one afternoon it might not be bad to just sit up there. You can see quite a ways, and maybe I'll see some moose, or maybe I'll see a deer. But you think there'd be deer tracks down here in the dirt, and I sure don't see any. This is right where I cross over the little river. You can see moose tracks. Somewhere in here on the left side is that, remember there's that trail that I would walk down and shot a few grouse down there, and it was it right here? Yeah, there it is. And they had that stand back in there. What time is it? 3:05? I might walk down there a little ways and just see what it looks like. It's weird because they logged on both sides. Over there, I mean, I never knew that hill was there. And, but didn't touch the trail, which is weird. This isn't a ski trail or anything. It's an old logging trail from when they logged years ago. I think I have to go up on top of that hill to see what it looks like on the other side. It just kind of flattens out over on this side. Be a nice place to have a stand right against this tree. Be a cold stand, but you could cover all this area. And then over here, all the way down there, of course the road is down there, but really opened it up. When the deer population does come back up, this would be an awesome spot for a stand. They're going to have a ton to eat right out there in the clearing. You've got this trail, and then over here you've got, you know, the untouched forest. I wasn't watching. There was a grouse right there in the tree. Carrying my camera, got my gun in my other hand. Just screwing around. Oh, I think I'll turn around and go back. I'm the kind of person that could just walk and walk and walk on these trails, but it'll be getting dark in a little while. I mean, it'll be another hour and a half, and I want to drive the whole loop, so at least I know how far back they cleared it here. Eventually I will walk down there though and see if they went way back, because there were little pockets they would do, then they would leave an area. I'll definitely check it out. dad must have walked down to his stand. He's going to be in that stand that Zach and I put up last year with him. Well, I'm still here. I'm doing a review video. The second half of it I'm doing up at the tent. So I've been doing that for a while here, but I thought I would come in here, and I've cut the tent down so that all I'm running right now is the computer, TV, DVD, and then I have turned on the gas lights off-grid. And the only reason I'm coming back in to do this little deer camp clip is because this is what the tent used to sound like, just lanterns. In fact, in the beginning, it was the Coleman pump-up type, so they're louder. And there was a certain smell in the tent, and anybody that has ever had one of the white gas pump-up Coleman lanterns or whatever, you know that smell, you know that sound. But just wanted to take a second here to listen to this because I really loved it when the tent sounded like this. Anyway, I just had to add this in here. It's pretty cool. I better get some food cooking. Green beans for a veggie. Yeah, that's good. Let's see, what else do I need here? I'm just gonna cook on the wood stove tonight. Things will get a little more fancy when Zach gets up here, but I wouldn't mind doing these on the grill, but kind of a waste of charcoal for not a whole lot of stuff to cook. So what are these anyway? Great on the grill. Family pack value smokehouse barbecue boneless country style ribs. I'm just going to cut them into chunks. Throw them in the cast iron pan, toss them on the wood stove, cook these up, and then maybe a can of canned potatoes and some beans. That's good enough. Tomorrow night, maybe we'll have pork steaks. Maybe we'll have pork ribs tomorrow night. Let's see, Zach's up here for 2 nights. And then pizza for lunch tomorrow. No, tomorrow he comes after lunch. So pizza for lunch on Saturday. And then, I don't know, pork steaks or something that night. Let's see, I should cook enough of these so I have some for lunch tomorrow too. Put a little vegetable oil in here. Melissa would frown on this. Vegetable oil is bad for you. We don't use it at the house at all. Lard, or I don't know what all she uses, but my nice Griswold pan. I think I'm going to do sliced potatoes, a can of those, and I'm going to throw in a can of mushrooms. Well, it's 10:45 and it's time for bed. Stayed up a little later watching the end of the Star Trek Voyager episode I was watching. Tomorrow Zachary will be up here. Good morning, everybody. Just looking at the weather here. It says it's 34 degrees. Mine says 33.8. Today is forecast to be cooler than yesterday. 44 degrees today. 28 degrees tonight. All it has is the sun, so there sure isn't any clouds right now. It's beautiful out there. The wind is supposed to be around 7 miles an hour. Tomorrow for opening day, 47 for the high, 37 for the low with rain tomorrow night. Let's see what it says for the summary. Winds are going to be 5 to 10 today. I got the dishes all cleaned up. Everything pretty clean in here. Zach will be up here later today. Right now, what time is it? Almost 8:15. He said he'd be up here after lunch. It continues to be an absolutely gorgeous morning. The beavers are out there eating lily pads. There's 2 of them right there sitting on a log that's under the water. I have my truck running out there. I just got done talking to Melissa on her ride to work. I'm going to get in the truck. I want to run over and walk out by Sarah's stand and just see if you go when you're walking out on the left side, there's a spot where you can kind of see if there's been any deer movement. Years ago, there was always a scrape in the same place every year, which there hasn't been for the last 3 years. But I want to check that out and see if there's any grouse in that little part there. Because with Sarah not coming up, I can sit. I don't know where I'm going to sit. Trying to find somewhere that has a track. Not sure if Zach and I will be doing pork steaks or chicken wings tonight, but I took both of them out to thaw. He'll be up here, after lunch sometime. I don't know if that means right after lunch or if that means 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not sure. Just gonna leave my truck run so it can warm up a little bit. And I'm not bringing my gun with me, so probably see a grouse. Sarah's stand is over there. I can actually see it right up in over here. And then there's the clearing in the back that you see when I'm sitting in that stand. And then you've got the clearing up here that I just walked through. And then this is where they ran the equipment through when they logged it. And the deer used to run here, you know, when it first was opened up. And then we had the year of the big storms that dropped these trees down. And this little pine tree right here always had a scrape under it every single year. It's been a few years now. Yeah, I don't really see much of anything. And people are going to say you shouldn't be walking out in the woods before season. What am I going to scare away? I don't see any deer. That little bit of a breeze out this morning is kind of chilly. Starting to get warm in here now. I was just looking and it's like, well, somebody's driven here since I did because my tires are so wide I can tell when I get to the muddy spots. And right there was George's truck parked where he's going to be sitting. Right here. Oh yeah, right here by this little pine tree up here. That's where Zachary goes into his stand. Oh, there's a grouse in the road. I got that one, but I played it a little different. Pulled my truck over, shut it off. I was too far away. So snuck out my truck, got my gun out of the case and everything, and then put in 3-inch Magnum steel and dumped it. The low base wouldn't have made it. I'm gonna pull in right here. This is where I was gonna turn around anyway. Nobody hunts back in here anymore, and I mean, this is the same when they log the area out where Zachary hunts and where George and them hunt and everything. All this was logged pretty much at the same time, and you know, they leave the big pine trees and stuff, but I just want to walk back. This was like a fire cut that went all the way around, and actually you can walk on this. It'd take you forever walking, but you'll end up coming out right by my far stand, the one that we looked at yesterday, across from where I go in, and maybe 200-300 yards farther down the trail. But just gonna walk up until it curves around and see what happens. You can take this fire thing that way, and that'll run you eventually all the way over right by Zachary's stand. I'm trying to see, there was people that hunted up here for about probably 5 years. And normally people don't really hunt in this area, and they were here. And anyway, they had a stand back here. They had a couple of them, but he had one that I would talk to him every year. I haven't seen him now for probably 3 years. And the last time I talked to him, he said that they had a stand back here. And then if they weren't up, I could use it if I wanted to, but I don't know if they came back and took it down when they moved out of the area or what. I know they have another one kind of over by where my dad hunts that is still up. You look at that in there and you think there'd be grouse all over the place. I'm quite a ways away from the truck now. Another one of my let's walk a little ways and it ends up being a long ways. If you had a little bit of snow on the ground, this would be a nice little hill to stand on. I mean, this drops off at least 40 or 50 feet. You can kind of see over that whole valley. Well, this is where it kind of tees off. I didn't see any stand in here. Can't remember if this one, the one to the left where it goes, it's got to go to the road. We might as well take it. I think going this way is the one that goes all the way around, and then it would end up at my far deer stand. Well, let's check it out. This one is just kind of going parallel to the other one. It's kind of cool looking how the woodpeckers have pecked the holes in there. Keep going up and down, but we're gradually just going down. I wonder where this is going to come out. Well, I made it back to my truck. That wasn't too bad. 951 yards, which comes to just a little bit over a half a mile going down the road there. So I probably just walked, had to go up, over, and down. I don't know, a mile and a quarter maybe. Boy, if there was deer though, that I never went back there because other people hunted, but if there were deer, they didn't get that many deer back there either, but still, it looks like it would be perfect. Now I'm going back towards the tent. I think what I'm going to do, my dad had mentioned yesterday when he was over that he hasn't walked in and checked his tripod stand. And I don't know if he could get up into that one. Anyway, maybe I'll walk back there. I don't think anybody sat there last year either. That trail gets a little bit hard to navigate sometimes. There's George's truck. I don't see him walking back though. Usually they put a trail camera out there, so I'll find out if they saw anything. Oh, it's so rough right here. Let's see if I can figure out where you go in on this one. It's really hard back here without my dad coming out every year and clearing this trail. I see that there's an old mark on a tree here, so I know I'm going the right direction, but somewhere in here I have to go straight left, or sorry, straight right to get out to that stand. Oh, there's an old tack. I think this is where you turn. So many trees are down here, but I see a tack. I think I see the blind over there. It's really grown up in here. When it was first put here, if there was snow on the ground, you'd still be okay. Usually the deer would run way over there. But Sarah got, was it her first deer in here? It wasn't on this stand, it was back where we came from. It was just a stand that was sitting on a tree, you know, just strapped to a tree with a thing going up there, and that one did not go back there. That one I think came from the trail that we walked in on or whatever. That was her first buck. If you go back here then, it's all swamp back there, so they used to run right through here. Everything looks fairly good on it, but my dad would have a very hard time at 81 years old getting, you can easily get up there, but getting in and out of that would be pretty tough. This is the tree right here that had the stand on it that Sarah shot that deer. See if I can try to find my way out of here. I mean, it's not a big deal. Put the sun at my face and walk. It'll bring me out to the road, but trying to find the actual trail. I'm back on the trail, but before I go back to the truck, I want to see, there was a deer stand up here that I wanted to see if it's completely collapsed. It's still there, but the sides are all gone. That stand is old. Zachary's first year deer hunting, I think my dad put this up. My dad or Ernie did years and years ago. And originally there was a stand out there, and I actually sat in that. One of my first years hunting up here, I sat for a couple nights because I remember it was past shooting time and I'm sitting in that stand, and it had to have been a half a dozen deer that came out from this direction going that direction. I couldn't see what they were. It was after time to shoot, but it was a nice night, so I was sitting there. And it was scary and exciting at the same time because you shouldn't be there and all these animals are walking around in the woods. And then eventually this stand got built. I never sat in this one, and then Zachary's first year up here, I don't know if it was second weekend or what. Anyway, we got a bunch of snow, like 8 inches of snow. And I put Zachary over, I don't, maybe the tripod stand was up. If not, he was sitting in the one that Sarah sat in. And then I just walked beyond over here and sat in this one. And there was no tracks, nothing. It was fresh snow. And I'm just sitting there, probably took a nap. You know, it's in the afternoon hunt, I believe. And all of a sudden, coming from over here, a buck comes running, hangs over here, going this direction, and he had big beams on the antlers, but it was an 8-point, but the little points were only about an inch tall, but so he was old. He was a big bodied deer. And yeah, I shot him, and we drug him out, but even when I got into the stand back then, it seemed kind of scary. And that was a long time ago. Huh, I wonder if my dad did build that. They went into a lot of trouble. Look at all of the holes drilled in there that would have had, I suppose, oh yeah, you can see the dowels in it for the ladder. Huh, I'll have to ask him about that. I think I'll save a little bit of time here and just put the sun at my face and start walking. We'll hit the road. I'll probably hit some wet swamp area and have to come all the way back. think I'll drive down here about a mile or so, and there's a spot to turn around, a good spot, see if I see any grouse here, and then we'll head back to the tent. Well, it looks like it's 11:15 right now. George is over at my dad's place, so I think I'm going to run over there and talk to those guys for a little bit. Well, it is now 8 minutes after 12. Finally made it back here, just sitting there talking with those two. I'm hungry, so it was finally I said I gotta go. I need to go have some lunch. Just having leftovers.
You've been eating it a whole week. Well, now, Sandy, I got time. Get better. He's pretty mean about it.
I shot at it. I know I was right on, but I knew it was too far away. It was getting antsy. So today, when I was out there, there was one, and I pulled the truck over and shut it off. And got my gun out. It's like, that's about as far away as the other one. So then I reached in my door and took out 2 3-inch magnums.
No. That'll do it.
Yeah. I bought some too. That's awesome. We got 2 of them now.
And then I got dry erase markers because
Oh, for the thing there.
I got pens because I don't know if you need pens, but I got and these lighters are only $1.50.
Oh, really? We'll put that right up there. Yeah, they look great for the stove.
Yeah, I got the price built right on them. I don't know. But
Montgomery Wards?
Yep.
Really?
It's a Montgomery Ward, and they had a thing. I don't have it, but you'd plug it in. You could put it into your cigarette lighter in your car.
Really?
And then this used to have a bracket, and it would have a little bolt. You put it on your dash, and then you'd hang this, and you'd have coffee in the
You
car.
can make coffee when you're driving.
Yeah, but I mean it's just a percolator, but it's only 165 watts,
Really?
and it has the cups, and you put like creamer and coffee in here, I imagine. But
Oh, yeah. Oh, pretty cool.
I thought that was really cool.
Have you tried it out?
Yeah, it works really good.
Does it?
It was only $12.
Wow. That was at like a Goodwill or something?
It was at that little antique shop by the house there.
Oh, it was.
But I seen this and I thought, oh, it's good. I can have this just for like camping or
Right,
stuff like
right.
this. So, oh, that was cool. Yeah, it's a car and home.
Cool. Oh, good.
I find a chunk of steel or something to get it up off of there, but then I thought I don't know if it would work. Because
Yeah, I don't think because far back you go in a certain ways. There was a bunch of grouse there, running across the road and stuff, and I never when Dad and I went, and I never did get one of them. But it was like there was a hill off to the right. It's like a person could sit up there and look for deer or moose or whatever if nobody's back there, you know.
I wonder where that was.
I'll show you when we drive back. Zach got a new fan for the wood stove.
Oh, it is a 3-blade. I still think those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's free energy.
Right, it just pushes it across and it does help. Now,
Attachment, but you put them on top of your buddy heater, they make them from that now.
oh, they do.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes.
There it goes. Well, Zach and I are going to take off and go drive down in that logged area and check that out. George messaged me and said that when he was leaving my dad's, he had stopped and talked to Zach on when Zach was coming in. And then he saw a fresh set of deer tracks. So I think tomorrow, that's kind of down by my far clearing stand. I think I'm going to sit there in the morning. And so I got to put my blanket on that stand. It is so hot in here. It's 88 degrees right now because I put some more wood on that fire. I got to turn way down now. That's nice to have a little fan back. I wonder when they're done if they will leave this bridge or if they'll take it back out.
I imagine they're gonna have to take it down. I don't know
though. Bring it to my house.
Wonder what a load brings them.
I wonder if they bring it all the way to
The edge of the tree line, and then anything going this way.
Yeah.
It's a nice area, and it was easy to get to.
and you just drove right up here.
Yeah, this is all road up until, I don't know, 100 yards before those trees.
Let's walk up to the next hill. Look over the top. Yep, that's a big old moose track. Oh, there's us again. I wonder what it is about this area that they like, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That actually looks pretty fresh. Oh, you did. You put it right there, huh?
So yeah, that one picture where it's like right here. It must have been.
Oh, it was walking right on this trail. I see what you
And
mean.
they were all three of them. That one picture, they're just eating right out in here. But I thought it was a good spot. You know, you got different ways they can go.
Right.
Sit tomorrow though?
I'm gonna sit in my little my clearing one on the other end.
No.
It's so grown up in there. There's no way that you're shooting the same deer, you know. Did it bolt right in?
No, I had to remake the holes and stuff like that.
Did you? Yeah. What's that? Yeah, the river's right there.
Oh, look at this path.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Yeah. They're making a brand new beaver house, a big one, right on the lake. Oh, look at that beaver dam.
What's,
See that? Yeah, those rocks had to have been pushed there to be in a formation like that. That CCC camp could have been right up here. Is there?
Yeah, by this tree. But yeah, all this stuff here, there's almost like a little, that old fuel can.
Really? What we're trying to do here is my grandfather, Zachary's great-grandfather on my mom's side, her dad was in a CCC camp in the beginning of the 30s, and they stayed right here. And they've logged it here before, but I wasn't with, but my mom and dad and grandpa and grandma, he's been dead many years now, came here. And my dad said it was like my grandpa was walking in here and like he could remember what it was like. And they used to go down to the, that's actually a little river, and that's where they got all the water for the camp. So we just decided to come in here this afternoon and see if we could find anything. My dad said there was a junk pile, but it has been logged since then.
Here's old steel. Here's one. Here's another one here. And that looks like a ring of a barrel.
Oh yeah, it does.
And there's more stuff kind of scattered through here.
Oh yeah.
This almost does look like a little junk.
Yeah, and they would have just thrown crap back then over the hill. That's pretty steep hill. You couldn't even climb up that thing. And he said that the officers' buildings were on this side of that little trail, and the workers was on the other side.
It was on the water side?
Water side was the officers, and like my grandpa and all the other people were on the other side. I mean, it's not really a road, but
more rocks up here. That's cool.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, we should.
Yeah, I'm trying to get up there. It's getting steeper. Did you bring a rope?
No. That one, you know, it kind of looks like it could have been a foundation thing or something.
Mm-hmm.
Would they have just pushed everything down here?
Well, when they logged it, they would have.
Okay.
I think we can get up right here. There's a little piece of glass right there. They would have actually had a pretty view here. You know what?
Yeah, it'd be an awesome spot to hammock camp or something.
Right. Oh yeah, there was the fire went through here at one time.
The edge.
Oh yeah, it's all flat. Yeah, definitely something was there. George had messaged before and said that he saw some fresh deer tracks. I had to come see just so I know what they look like. "3:44 in the afternoon." It was hot in here before. It's still 79.9. I tell you, if it wasn't almost going to be dark in an hour, I would definitely want to go fishing. This is that grouse that I got today. I need to grab one tail feather before I clean it up and put it in the tent. That looks like a nice one. Well, Zach and I have just been hanging out tonight, talking about life. I've been editing some on a video here, and we have Jeremiah Johnson in, but Melissa just messaged me and said that the Northern Lights are out, so we're going to go check it out and see if they're out here. Well, they look like they're out there a little bit, but I can only see them when I use the camera on night mode.
Did it take quite a bit of wood to fill up the wood box or the out there?
I did. Okay, everyone. Well, it's 5 minutes to 10. Zach and I are just about to go to bed. Tomorrow is the 2024 deer hunting opener. Did you want a lunch? Oh yeah, there's some here. That's good. There's some other ones out in the other page.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a nice outfit there.
Not bad for, I don't know what it, I think the shirt or the jacket was like $20 and the pants were 15 or something.
Really?
Like that. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's really good if you look at the prices of that stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're headed out to the deer stand. It's not too chilly this morning. It's 35 degrees, so I mean, that's not bad. Well, I think I'm going to call it a morning and go back to the tent. Zach and I are going to make those homemade pizzas that I brought up. Yeah, dead morning. I didn't hear any shots. Zach said he heard a shot. I thought I might have heard something. I was digging in my bag for looking for something. But yeah, pretty dead. My brother Chris, him and his wife have property more in north central Minnesota, over by, I don't know, kind of by Park Rapids area or whatever, and he shot a buck right away this morning. messaged me and said that they already had it brought back to the cabin, and he's already back out in the stand. Even when we hunted together up here years ago and everything, he's the type that will sit in his stand from morning until night. And not me. I'll do the morning and the evening, and I'm not an all-day sitter.
Piece in there. One more.
Hey Zach, warm in here. I didn't even hear George and them come by this morning, but I walked in and walked through and got out in the clearing and got all turned around, didn't know where I was.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I knew where I was, but there's trees down and stuff, and it took me probably 5 to 8 minutes walking around before I finally, I mean, I know it's one of these big pine trees, but there's trees that are down out there and stuff, and I'm trying to walk around them, and I finally got to where I was going.
When I was walking out, I was looking, and I think there's moose tracks.
Is there?
Walking-
Could
Yeah.
be.
I even like moved the one and felt like the front toe of it had dug in. I'm like, yeah, like a moose. I guess maybe walk through here too.
It'd be cool to be in the stand and see one and film it, you know.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Back, I turn around first.
Oh,
I
yeah.
go down and turn around and come and then park
Oh, okay.
right in, because then I can see my tags and everything. And yeah, and then I just come back. So.
He didn't even see any squirrels or birds or nothing.
I saw a squirrel. George said the birds were bugging him right from the start, but
Yeah. Pretty slow, Grandpa said.
right out of the artesian well water.
Oh.
I stop on the way up right there on Midway Road and filled that up, and then 2 5-gallon square ones, and that must have been way back there 2 times.
Huh.
And one of them must have been Sarah's first year. Maybe I went back there, and then the second year, I bet we were back there with the wall tent, and then the next year Chris bought the other tent, and then I was like, what am I going to do now? And then when Emily was old enough, then we hunted. Oh yeah. Because in '91, that year of the snowstorm, we hunted only go down part ways, and we had to shovel that. I mean, the snow was literally waist deep.
Really?
And I remember that year because there was the 2 storms in a row, and then I remember taking Sarah trick-or-treating, and we're walking through that snow, and it's just a huge blizzard going on, and walking to the, through the snow to the houses, and the snow was getting deep. And then, it would have been another week later that deer hunting was, and there was another storm within 5 or 7 days that dumped another 20-some inches. And I mean, that was the deepest snow. You were getting, all of our stands were way back there. We were 6.6 miles back off the road, but no way to get there.
Oh, okay.
So we just went in like quarter mile and set up camp on the right, just dug everything out, and somebody had to snow blow part of it to help us get in, because even Chris, he had that big Ford with the 40-inch mudders on it, and that thing wouldn't go through it.
No? Wow.
No. And Sarah wasn't up then, so we must have went like back and forth, or we were up there for a while, and then. But it would have been another like 10 years before we were. I guess I don't even really know where we always hunted in between there. I guess I could have came up here with my dad That's funny, I don't remember. And on all my antlers that I have in that box all have the year written on them, but not where.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't look back, but I shot the spike one, my first one by, and I think my next buck was that little 5-pointer that I got 6.5 miles back. And that's not including ones that I shot at mom and dad's house. You know, those were in there too, but I mean, I could do both at the same time, but we'll just do one at a time.
Yeah, that one pizza might be enough for both of us.
But I should cook them both so that I could just eat the other one. Otherwise, what am I going to do?
Oh, it is.
I guess I could put it back into the freezer and just cook it again if I wanted to. I could do that.
So maybe you just better play it safe someplace else.
You're running me out of... What do you make of it? I don't know. Let's see.
I'll get over across that border. That's the last of Wells Fargo will ever see of me. I don't go back on my word.
I believe you. But I can't help it.
Oh, let's see what he said. Let's see. Neighbor sent me a pic from my front yard. He was there at noon. Just should sit on the front porch. Look at that.
Oh, wow. That's a good one, too.
Yeah.
Whoa.
George lives in Duluth, and that was in George's front yard this morning. Nice.
Lucky.
This road seems a lot worse than it was yesterday, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
We just seen, there we go, we just seen a grouse, so. I think there was another one over there that flew. We're way back in that logging area. Well, looks like you got it. Nice one. Oh, that truck is all full, but yep, that's more deer tracks there. Yeah, and I don't know. Oh, that maybe that's.
Is it like 2 moose?
That could be moose there. Yeah. I just heard a grouse fly somewhere. Deer tracks.
It stumbled.
Yeah. must have just taken that one down, huh?
Yeah. Maybe they had that one there originally. And camping spot there too.
It could be.
What's that down there? Another jump pile. That's a big jump pile. Look at all that.
Oh, yeah. Another one we should
It
come
goes
and
way
explore.
over there.
Oh, yeah, way back there.
That's a lot of junk. You go-
It has the red owl sign on it. Cherry pop. We should grab that one and put it into the outhouse with the other stuff that we find.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that's cool. That's
Wonder what was in there.
contains. Oh, it just says how much.
Mission root beer. Look at how they had to open that.
The big jug thing.
Oh, yeah. Mouse.
Mouse. What is like? Oh, it's an old cowboy boot. It says high.
Hilux, so it was bleach.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a really.
that should be really old.
You think with the water getting in there, it would have frozen or something?
Right. We need to keep that too.
Did you get it? Awesome.
Added one more grouse to deer camp.
It's actually kind of a nice path.
I'm sure when they logged it at one time, you know. This reminds me of that path on the other side that I go. It's just like this. Go through the swamp, you come through, you go up the hill. Wow, it's not a river or anything, but it sure is pretty, huh? Well, Zach and I did a bunch of exploring different areas today. Just that last area we just went through, people haven't hunted there for a few years now, but they used to always be people back there, and I've never been back there. And you know, Zach picked up a grouse back in the logging area, and I got a grouse in that area that the last area that we went to, and it's really nice back there. So we're getting a kind of a little. It's only going to be able to stand tonight about an hour and a half until it's dark, but it's not like we're seeing a lot of deer sign. We're making the best of it and checking out new areas and just having a fun time. Shooting time is officially over for today. Time to head back to the tent. I made it back to the tent. Zachary is either in the outhouse or he might have went over to my dad's to talk to him for a while. I don't know. It's nice and toasty in here. 78 degrees. So I'm just looking up this Mission root beer can that I found today. with that top, and it's a made in the United States. Year of issue was 1954. It doesn't say any more about it here. So this next one, it says Brimful, which is next to the, if you guys ever had Red Owl as a grocery store, we don't have them around here, but when I was a kid we had Red Owls. And this has the Red Owl sign, and it says Brimful Cherry Pop Black Cherry Soda. So this is more than likely a store brand, but I'm gonna see if it comes up. Brimful. Okay, you can get it on eBay for $2.99. There it is. In the Can Museum. The year of issue for this one was 1975. The next thing I want to look up is this brown Hilux bottle. It's a half-gallon bottle of Hilux. Let's see. There it is. $35 for this one. It's pretty cool. It's funny that it was sitting there, not broken, not chipped, not anything. This coffee cup is heavy. You know, this is the kind of coffee cup that you would find at a cafe. It has a little chip right here. Melissa will like this. I'm going to bring this home and give it to her. Is he going out in the morning, did he say? Or?
He said if it's raining, he doesn't plan on it.
Oh,
He
yeah.
doesn't want to go and sit in the rain, but...
Right.
You find anything out about that?
This here, I didn't get the year, but this you can get on eBay for $35. This was a 1952 or 54 can,
Oh, that's cool.
and this is a 1975 can. But, you know, it has Red Owl. It says Brimful. But when I looked up the Red Owl, it was by the Super Value chain. It didn't say anything about Brimful, so I'd have to look into that more. But
Sam's grandpa worked for Red Owl, and then he worked for Super Value. He was part
really?
of the switch of...
that's like the parent company.
Yeah, so he loves anything Red Owl. He loves just because he liked that company.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, they even have this kind of, both of them have, can't see it as good on that one, but this kind of side on it too.
Oh, okay.
You know, just like those cone top cans we found.
That was cool. There's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, it'd be fun to go back and look more, you
Yeah.
know. And it's like, well, now is the time of year to look because there's no bugs. The bugs would be horrible, the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
But then you're hunting too, so you don't want to sit there, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of give or take.
It's funny that stuff can sit there for 50, 60, 70 years. And like the glass, you'd think all the glass would be broken.
Right.
Or...
Right, that Hilux bottle, why was that? I mean, there was a lot of those other bottles that were smaller that were broke.
Yeah.
And this is sitting there. Yeah, Melissa will think this is really cool. I sent her a picture and she said it was cool. She can put that in her outdoor kitchen area
Oh,
thingy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and those two cans, I'll probably put that. You know?
As well, by popular movement in missionary and educational work.
This guy looks like Little House on the Prairie guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Yeah. That must be the officers in the hats.
Yeah.
Again, fruitless, had not the undercurrents of destiny worked
all
in the
that
same direction.
Infrastructure and...
Railroad building went on.
Can you
And the
kind of
railroad
scroll it up to
expanded
look at that
lands.
building?
The rule of the red man was
Look at
definitely
that. Those are actually
challenged.
pretty nice.
And look at all the stone on the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Remember all that stone and see how it does go down the hill? Because these guys are way down the hill. the water might be right here. I mean, there would have been nothing between them and the water.
Yeah.
There's not a tree to be found up there because they used the lumber. It's kind of cool that they left a few trees,
Right.
actually.
How did they cut the logs vertical? You think they'd go horizontal with them, or maybe they milled them, or?
They said that all of the lumber they did themselves. So yeah, they milled them out of the trees that were around there to make the buildings.
Well, after seeing it like that.
Look at how wide the boards are. Those trees must have been huge.
Oh yeah.
Or nowadays you don't. I mean, look at that. That's 100 foot long, and they went the long way. So I'm thinking of buildings going like this, and they went way back.
Straight back.
And these are all birch. Birch or poplar trees.
Continued forays across the Mexican borders, not construed by the Chiricahua.
Well, tonight we're just doing some chicken wings, some long grain and wild rice, and some corn.
Would either one of you gentlemen be the United States?
About her. I think she'll get along all right. Matter of fact, I think she'll always find somebody to protect her.
Hello, Bert. No, not yet, but, well, why don't you just kind of mosey over there and listen in? There's a little ugly talk.
Ugly talk?
I'd like to go with you.
There's a swarm out there.
Yeah, 43 says.
Grandpa was telling me
He was
today,
a
he
nice
said,
chap. I don't know about you.
when deer remembers deer hunting up here, he said in the 80s and stuff, it was always cold, lots of snow.
Yeah, we always had snow. Just waited for that snow. It was
I didn't
cold.
duck. I just
Yep.
pushed him a little. He
Did they
did
used
the
to have
rest
it
of the
later, or
laps.
has it always been in November?
Well, it's just about time for bed. Time to brush our teeth. Rain is supposed to be here shortly, so we'll see if it's still raining in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It was raining out at 3 o'clock this morning, but now it stopped. And it sounds like it's going to pick up again around 8 or 9, so a person will be able to go out to the stand this morning. Wind advisory for tonight starting at 2 o'clock in the morning with wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. It should be interesting. Trail mix is good, but it's like all chocolate. Very few nuts in there. Usually you have it, it's like it doesn't have enough chocolate in it. Thin pullover, but well, no, my dad has one like that. He might still wear it sometimes,
Oh, yeah.
and it's just got the hood on it.
Oh, okay.
He wore that for years. It just wasn't this way, so I'm sure that that's the same. They came out with that. That almost looks the same as this.
That pattern?
Yeah, that pattern, and I'm sure that's all Cabela's.
Yeah.
Ready?
5 miles per hour. A variety of slight fog and clouds in the afternoon, evening a light breeze and a temperature of 48. A little colder tomorrow, around 42 with some sun. Partly sunny Tuesday and quite warm around 44. From your local...
Oh, another morning where I didn't see anything. I think I'll go back to the tent because Zachary's going to be taking off. It rained off and on a little bit, and I just sat here and listened for a while to the Swamp Pop or whatever the name of the show is down out of Louisiana. A little bit foggy now. I mean, it was a nice morning to sit. It wasn't cold, damp, but and then them shots that were across the road, I don't know if that was at a deer though, because it was like 3 or 4 shots.
I think I heard 3 of them, but I didn't know if they're all coming from the same spot or not.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I could have shot a grouse on the way back. It flew, and then it was like, well, I'm not going to go in there, it's wet. For just like 1 second, it was that excitement that I haven't felt for a couple of years, and it's like, well, you know, it's not a deer. So, and I just kept looking, but didn't see anything. Yeah, I like it up here, so yeah, finish my journal up and do a few things, and probably take the food out with me when I go with the freezing stuff this time though, because you just never know. If all of a sudden we get 10 inches of snow and it's like, I'm not going up, it's like I have to go up there because I've got canned goods that are going to explode. And then you've got that hanging over your head, you know, so. It actually is a good area. I mean, and if a person was going back there, you could cut that one tree out. Mm-hmm. That one tree is the hardest one to get through, you know, but a person could cut that out and go through there, but now it keeps other people from going also. But when the deer population comes up, I imagine other people would go back there. But that was a really pretty area, and places where you could see a pretty big expanse. And they've got the pine trees there, and they've got the slashings and everything. So, yeah, I like that area. It's funny, for all the years I've been coming up here, I remember when they logged it. I remember when that was all getting logged, and so it was just ugly, you know. And now going back there, looks like just old forest. I mean, I didn't ever go back there because they must have logged way back, because those pine trees definitely have been logged out to be so nice and big now, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Wonder if it's like, you know, the path goes up and tees. I wonder if a person could catch it from the other road and walk it in the other way to see what it looks like too.
Well, remember the one way is right where the boat landing is, so you'd have to go across the river on right where you caught that fish. It came out right to there.
Okay.
I wonder if at one time there was a bridge there or something. I don't know.
We're pretty much in the garage, so.
Alright, get your eggs.
Oh yeah. I'll grab those.
You know what? Do you guys eat eggs?
Yeah.
I think Bolt doesn't.
Okay. I'll go put this in there, and then I'll just make sure I got everything.
Alright. Alright, well, Zachary left now, and it's only 9:39 in the morning. Sprinkling her that heavy mist out there now. Sarah's coming up here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon about. She texted me and said she'd be here about 1. And she's coming up with her friend David, and then from here, Zachary was saying, maybe you already heard that then they must be going down to do, in Two Harbors, they light the lighthouse for Edmund Fitzgerald, the anniversary, and they're doing that, so I guess they're going to that. But she's grabbing her deer hunting clothes because next weekend she's going to hunt on family property for Emily's boyfriend John. And I think I already talked about this, but I know I've talked about it, but I don't know if I got edited out yet. So if you're hearing this twice, oh well. Anyway, she's going to be a part of the state where there's like a 50% success ratio, and that's going to be next weekend that she's going to go do that. And then third weekend she might come up here. It all depends. Sometimes I don't even come up here third weekend because the weather, it gets so nasty. And if it is even kind of nasty when there's not many deer, I mean, at least we've seen tracks in 2 places this year. That's more than we saw last year. But, you know, sometimes I don't come up third weekend. So I'll get things picked up in here. It's not that dirty because Zachary did the dishes. And I'll get things picked up a little bit. Maybe I'll vacuum. I got water on there heating up. I want to take a shower. And yeah, and then they'll be here, and then I'll be free and clear. No more company. Not for today. Hey, Dad.
That actually gone, huh?
Yep, he left. And now Sarah will be up here about 1 to pick up her deer hunting stuff, and then so I'm just cleaning stuff up a little bit, and she's got her friend David with her.
We're people are going to park to their car. I went off the back of that on the left side, but I think I got back to the car. My bolt was open, so.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I don't know if I fell there. Yeah, and so I walked back to my stand. The guy had carried out my sleeping bag. I thought, well, what ink? The ink can be cold enough for me to have it. You know?
Right, right.
And I don't know if I could find one. Because yesterday, you know, I even barbecued early. Well, it was 4:30, but because I thought it would be dark out there. But then I tried it before I went to bed.
Yeah, they're, you know.
With my go to Florida for a couple of days, but you know, I'm gonna check our neighbor when they travel. They don't no more, but they would always fly out of St. Cloud.
Oh, really? Huh.
Because where I am, it'd be easier to get to St. Cloud.
Right. Okay, so Zach left. Now my dad was here for about 45 minutes, so now I can get things cleaned up a little bit, but I gotta put a couple more sticks in the fire here. Oh, that shower felt really good. It's nice to have things back to normal. It gets messy so fast when, you know, you get a couple of us in here, especially during deer hunting, because you got so many clothes and stuff that you're dealing with. And I like it when the chaos goes back to normal.
duck told you good here. But outside of them, the rest of them ain't worth the powder it takes to.
Well, I told him I couldn't think of doing such a thing. And you know what else he said? He said,
Oh. So?
It's so nice up here. I can't believe how nice it is. Hi.
How's it going?
Good. Was that, do you leave?
Yep, I got up this morning about 10, maybe right around 10.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys are going to where they turn that thing on, the
Yeah.
thing tonight? That's what Zach was saying.
Yep. I'm gonna go there and... Nothing? Didn't see anything?
No, it's moving around.
And then I see you got one of those nature or weather sensor things
Yeah.
that tells you all is a sensor outside somewhere.
Yeah, it's on the dock. Yeah, so.
I've wanted to get something like that, but it's like I always think about it, then it's like, oh, I don't want to pay that much.
Right. These are good, and we got one same brand name at the house, just a different model, and they work flawlessly. I mean, after it's been here, we must have had that here for what, 8, 9 years,
Oh
probably.
yeah.
More.
It's always been here, as far as I remember.
Yep. Yeah, because it's $120 a year for the plan.
I see there's a Downy right on my feeder right now.
Oh, see, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And see, if I had Wi-Fi or internet up here all the time, I could actually get a cell phone camera, a cell service one like that. It's like $500, and where you can do the live feed, which would be nice. But I thought I better play around with this one first to see if I.
Like it or would use it
Right.
or whatever? Yeah.
There was definitely something in here because it's pointing at the garage now.
Oh.
It was pointing the other way, so either wind blew it or some squirrel got
What about
into
that
it.
like fat raccoon thing?
Oh,
You remember that?
In the spring, I had this big fat mama raccoon, and somehow, I don't know how she got in there, but she was in there, and she squeezed herself all into it and was eating all the seed out of it. It's like, oh, you little bugger. Because every year for the last, I don't know, almost a decade now, that detached garage gets more and more dilapidated, but every year we get a raccoon family up in the attic. They tear apart all the cans.
Really, I have to do something at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, so you have to get up and
Instead
get
of
out of
just
there.
I'm already
being
awake,
up.
but yeah, because might be editing a video or whatever. Otherwise, I sit around and wait for Melissa to get ready to go to work, and I talk to her on her way to work.
Yeah.
Well, I've got that kind of dead time in there, so like I'm up usually at 4:30,
Yeah.
but I don't have to be up.
Yeah.
My mind just doesn't shut off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I have to milk, and as soon as I don't want to, then when you start milking, it's like, yeah, this is awesome, you know.
It gives you something to do than just being up.
But then right after November started, then we went to once a day, and then it was like, oh, this is nice not having to milk right now.
Oh yeah.
You know,
A
so.
nice break.
Is Melissa still making like butter and all that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What kind? Is it a Holstein or
A Guernsey.
Guernsey?
Yeah.
Okay, because I have a coworker who he used to do all kinds of cows are his passion and stuff like that. He wishes he could get back into it, but his farm, a lot of drama, landlord, blah blah blah. Anyway, he was doing landscaping for 9 years with someone else, and now he's working with me, and he talks all the time about cows and stuff.
Does he?
So it's like that's what I'm Guernsey. Okay, so I can tell him.
He'd be
Yeah.
like, oh.
I just had everything sent into UC Dave.
Guarantee, like farm fresh eggs, that would be great for baking.
Ooh, yummy.
Yep. So yeah, I forgot that you had ate some of it before. I haven't seen it. But yeah, she just keeps making it every 2 days. She makes butter.
Wow. Does she have an electric butter thing now? Or she's still doing it by hand?
No. Well, we got the cream separator now, so we don't have to do that. Separates it. She doesn't have to
So
hand dip it.
Does it pull out the fat or something, or what is the cream or?
It takes the cream out of the milk. So what it leaves me with is skim milk.
Okay.
And if I wanted to turn the button, there's a little set screw in there. If I turn the set screw out, it will leave more cream in the milk. But when I drank it, it's because usually we drink whole milk. But I don't care. I just drink milk every single day, and it tastes. You tasted it. It tastes no different to me than store bought.
It was like a little creamier, I thought. But
Was it?
that's it. Yeah,
But
that was
yeah.
what I thought.
Well, but yeah, because I figured so the cream is like the fat, so you can adjust how much milk fat goes into the milk versus separates out.
Right, and we just have it set flush, so it gives me skim milk, and she gets as much because cream is what she really wanted.
Yeah.
You know, and then she makes all that butter because then when we dry her off from December through, she won't calve. It's supposed to calve on March 7th. So let's say from December through March, and 1 week after the calf is, well, no, the day that the calf is born, we have to start milking. But anyway, we would have to buy butter if we don't have it stockpiled.
Oh, so she's just stocking
So
it up.
she's stocking it up, and we freeze dry milk, and then so I won't have to buy milk. I can just
Oh, make it.
make it.
Freeze dry. How does that work?
Oh, like powdered milk.
So you do. Oh, so you turn it into powder. Oh.
Yeah, I assume that's what you're doing. Just
Yeah.
making powdered milk.
Huh.
Yeah. Shoot a buck or a doe there, or just buck?
Yeah, I can shoot like a bunch of does.
Okay, oh, you can. So that's an area where you can do that.
Yeah, I think it might be a 3 does and 1 buck area or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. So apparently there's a ton. And like John was talking, he's like, between me and my buddies, like there's some years we shot like 10 to 12 between us using other people's tags and everything.
Really?
I'm just like, that's like, I can't even imagine that. Like,
Right.
so I should see something.
In all the
Right.
years I've talked to you, you've never caught one.
Well, that's not true. I shot that one, but it
Might be a little finer.
Because like I said, this is old man's beard, is what I come up with.
That looks pretty close too.
yeah.
It's a type of lichen.
Yeah.
It's not moss. Mosses and lichens are different. I found out. Lichens are closer.
Oh, Sarah and David are still there. They're outside exploring around the yard looking at stuff, but I needed to get to my stand. It's getting late, and they were going to be leaving at 3 o'clock. I didn't even put on my heavy boots or bring my bibs or anything because there's no wind and it's 44 degrees. It's pretty nice out. I'm not expecting to see anything tonight, but I think tomorrow morning it's going to be way too nasty to go out with the wind. Normally I go out in anything, but with the deer population the way it is, if we have 30-mile-an-hour winds gusting higher than that, I'm not going to go out tomorrow morning. Well, that's it for shooting time today. It was such a nice day to sit, though. I mean, it was the busiest day with, you know, Zach, my dad, Sarah, and then out to the stand. But, I mean, no wind, you know, 44, 45 degrees. It's just a beautiful day. Well, tonight for dinner, I'm going to cook up spare ribs and throw on a couple of potatoes because I don't really know what the weather is going to be like tomorrow. So I may not want to be cooking out there tomorrow. And cooking in here makes more dishes. I'm just switching out some of the batteries in the cameras so I don't have to do it in the wind tomorrow. But I bought a new cell phone, cellular trail camera. I've got other ones but that you don't see, but this one I'm putting on the front of the tent so that, you know, if anything comes up front, then I'll get a picture, you know, wherever I'm at on my phone. And I just can't seem to find the right exact spot that I wanted. I think I'm on the 4th tree now. So I just set it up again and turn it back on, so when I walk out next time it'll go off and I can see how it if I like that spot or not. It's 10 minutes after 10 and I'm just about to go to bed. The wind is picking up a little bit more, but it's still really nice out here. We'll see what it's like in the morning. Good morning, everybody. 4 minutes after 5. We will not be going out to the deer stand this morning. Power went out. And it's pretty nasty out here. Guess I'm just going to lay on the bed and scroll my phone for a while. I was just texting with my dad. He said he's got 5 battery lanterns going over at his place. But with the wood stove, it's nice and warm. I was just texting with my dad some more. He said he has all his camping lights out in his workshop. But, you know, it'll be light out in an hour or so. But I went outside with my headlamp. And, well, I guess I can show you the picture, but you'll see it in an hour. This tree is down. There's my truck. And there's the outhouse. This was a dead one next to it that I've been wanting to cut down, but I haven't, and it uprooted. And then when I'm looking at it here, it looks like a real big one behind it has fallen down partway and is hitting against another tree. It'll be an interesting morning. I told my dad, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go out to the deer stand this morning. Oh, it doesn't look too bad for the driveway. Just a couple of them. The ones up by the tent, and that one other one where a tot blew off over the driveway. It's definitely gotten colder just since 5 o'clock this morning. I don't know what the temperature is, except for looking on my phone because my weather station is out. Because the power is out, I suppose I could plug that into one of my battery things. I just started my truck so it can warm up for a couple minutes, and I'll go drive down the road and see if there's any trees down there. Trying to see what the temperature is. I don't think it was 31. That says it's 30 right now. Feels like it's 19 with the wind at 30 miles an hour. I don't have a chainsaw with. My dad does, but I just cleared the two right there with a handsaw. My dad's leaving this morning in about 15 minutes for home, so I thought I'll check the road, and then if I need a chainsaw, he said to just get a hold of him and he'll come up here with his. Well, looks like I'm gonna need a chainsaw for that one. I'll message my dad. He can drive up here with one and we'll cut our way out. Okay, one big one down, a mile and a half to go. that spot back there is always the worst because all the balsam trees that were there that died, but now, I mean, most of them have blown over, so I would think this one didn't quite make it. I would think pretty soon that's going to stop. Like my dad was saying, what's it going to look like up here in 50 years? I mean, what kind of trees are going to grow in their place? I think we can still kind of get around this one. I'm just looking at pictures that I took earlier this year and zooming in because across the lake there's 2 trees that have uprooted, and I think that that just happened this morning because when I look at this picture, let's see if you guys can see this. Right here is the little beaver house, and then you see these trees right here. I mean, this is a reflection off the lake. And now I just went out and there's that beaver house. See these 2 trees? You can see how it's, you can see underneath the, where it uprooted like that. So yeah, it looks like this one over here too. You just can't see the bottom of it. Yeah, that was some pretty nasty wind. Well, I decided that I'm packing things up and I'm going to head home today. I was going to stay today, hunt tonight, but then in the morning I had to leave by 6 o'clock in the morning because of stuff I have to do tomorrow. And so it would just be one more hunt. It's super windy out there. I'm probably not going to go out there. Power is still out and it's been over 5 hours. And when I call the power company, it's Veterans Day, so they're not open. Which isn't a big deal, you know, this all runs off grid, that's not the big deal, but then I can bring them, I'll go home today, and then come up on Thursday, I'll come up in 3 days, and then I'm going to spend a couple more days up here, 2-3 days, and get the wood cut up, do some deer hunting, and get the new clock in, that should be at the house now, the new weather radio, so I'm going to do that, and I don't have to take everything out, like I can leave all my canned food and stuff. Yeah, because I'll be up the end of the week and it's not going to freeze by then. The nice thing about going right now is that there's no power, so I can't vacuum. That's got to be the worst part about packing up, is vacuuming everything up. Get all my dirty clothes put in here so I can wash them. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. I'm looking forward to getting back up here in just a few days. I will see you guys on the next video.